Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Inside FNATIC'S Brush. I'm Matt Scott, here to present you with another recap of the LEC, diving in straight into the LEC summer first week with 3 games for Fnatic. Following an early exit from MSI, Fnatic has the chance to prove themselves on stage with having a great start into the new split. KC, who has just changed their top side, will be looking probably like a stronger challenger than in the previous splits. However, heading into the draft, KC makes a few mistakes, like picking Athena, which hasn't been a strong pick for Europe, and also picking the Jax blind when Poppy is still open and one of Oscarnin's favorite picks. This reflects very early into the game, where Oscarnin really manages his lane against the Jax and puts him in a difficult position. However, a poorly managed gank by Razork and miscommunication with Oscarnin gives the 2 first bloods for KC. Fnatic continues to make a few mistakes by losing the fight around Drake right after securing it and getting chased into their own jungle. Despite those early game blunders, Fnatic still manages to catch KC out of position and get a bunch of good team fights, bringing them back into the game. Eventually, the better mid game from Fnatic and the stronger draft helps them take over the game. They secure Baron despite losing June and play the map very well by securing multiple turrets. Carmine Corps start losing space on the map, start losing hope, and resort to last attempts flanks. The TP from Kana will give nothing except an advantage for Fnatic, who will force the pressure onto Baron, forcing yet another team fight that won't be in favor of Carmine Corp. This will seal the deal for Fnatic, who wins the team fight, TPs into the bot lane, and ends the first game in less than 29 minutes, 1-0 for Fnatic. Going into their second game, Fnatic will be looking to keep the momentum and continue increasing their score into the first week of LEC summer. Humanoid is put once again onto Hui, and we see this time Noah diversifying a bit more his picks with a quirky ADC, while Razork heads back onto Ivern, shielding his teammates. This time Fnatic plays a much better early game by giving Noah the first blood and helping that quirky scale. Despite Humanoid struggling a little bit in the matchup versus Varus, Noah and June keep the pressure on the bot lane and manage to win a 2v2 for themselves. And once this bot lane gets a lead, they're not gonna stop rolling over the game. Noah gets the first turret blood all for himself, giving him over a 3k advantage against Patrick. Despite Fnatic's strong early game, leading with an advantage of 4k gold, they still struggle facing against Jackie's, who's had a great advantage in lane and is pushing it into his team fights. His lethality build with a smart Serpent's Fang build is shredding through the front line of Fnatic. This allows JX to stabilize the game, notably by putting them at soul point and forcing Fnatic into the Drake pit. Even with Ivern's shielding and healing, the battles are super sloppy with a lot of back and forth kills and no one really taking over the team fights and getting anything over the map. Confronted by this situation, Fnatic forced GX into a decision by going into the Baron pit and taking them into a team fight. Noah will be the one securing the Baron for Fnatic, with Oscarnin grabbing a kill onto the enemy Vi. Fnatic uses this number advantage to push mid and catch GX out of position. Combined with that, Jackie's making an unsuspected TP into the top lane, GX completely open their base and give Fnatic the victory. Fnatic faces Vitality as their final game of the opening week into LEC summer. Vitality has been a strong team so far this season, but has had a complicated start, mainly throwing their leads over and over again. Fnatic continued to mix up their drafts, notably by picking an unexpected Galio for Humanoid. Oscarinin, who has been playing very well so far, falls a bit victim of his efficiency, getting ganked by Linkas and given over the first blood. This is however quickly answered by an invade on the top side, where Humanoid catches Linkas and set Photon in a difficult position, who is already behind in CS compared to Oscarinin. As the game goes on, Hylissang does Hylissang stuff and doesn't forget that he is #AlwaysFnatic by giving away a few deaths for some uncertain reasons. These mistakes start costing Vitality quite a bit as they get caught into the bot lane, especially in that chokehold of the Tribrush, giving away 3 important kills for Fnatic. They waste little time using this advantage, go straight for the Baron that they just secure. Fnatic has been doing something very well so far, which has been using the Baron well to take over the map and gain further advantages. They secure top inhib to quickly transition into the bot lane and have the same approach. At this point the lead is too strong, Fnatic leads by 7 to 8k gold, and they just take over the game with Vitality unable to answer with their composition. In the end, the Galio pick was a great answer to the LeBlanc, especially giving a front line for Noah, who was free to DPS with his patented Aphelios and helped the team close the game. A great 3-0 start for Fnatic, who starts the split in a convincing fashion. I want to highlight in particular Noah. We all know he's been struggling recently, specifically during his MSI, where he was very much inside his own head, which hurt his performance during the whole tournament. Ever since he announced he was taking a step back from social media and decided to focus on himself, we can already see an increase in his performance already within the first week. Better laning, better positioning, and even better builds, focusing very hard on the LDR as a second pick. I also think that the meta suits him much more, with picks like Aphelios, Zeri, and Jinx being really strong as current ADC priority picks. I'm glad that already in these first 3 games he's shown a variety of picks, choosing every time a different ADC. Specifically the Corki versus GX, where I felt it gave him more space to be aggressive and be able to burst the enemy backline. I'm really excited to see what Noah can showcase in the upcoming games if he keeps that discipline and his form. Speaking of the upcoming games, Fnatic will have an important opponent going into the second week of the LEC summer. SK Gaming, with their recent change into the bot lane, has also started the split with a 3-0 power win. Especially their support Luon, who's had, in my opinion so far, one of the best performances in the team. This will be a great first test for Fnatic to see where they stand in their current progress. We've also been hearing from multiple sources that Fnatic is destroying everyone in scrims. While this is something that isn't really new, specifically this season, it's actually nice to see Fnatic translate a bit more their scrim performance on stage. This has been their main issue, specifically at MSI following their defeat against Team Liquid, which everyone was expecting them to win. If Fnatic continue to be consistent and keep their discipline in game as they have been in the first week, we can see a really strong Fnatic that can definitely end the regular split in top position, especially with G2, who has been struggling to get back into their form within the first games. No doubt that they will start winning the next upcoming games, but with 2 defeats, this gives an advantage for teams like Fnatic and BDS, who have had great starts. BDS is also looking to be the big great test in this summer LEC, already getting a pentakill with Ice. Overall, the team has been doing a great work so far, and I can't wait to see how well they do this weekend. This is all for today, guys. Let me know what you think about Fnatic's performance and how hopeful you are for them on the rest of the split. I've been Mad Scott. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next week. Until then, always Fnatic.